Hello and welcome to our Mayakashi Deck Profile. We're going to take a look at this zombie synchro spam deck. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to go right into it. But before that, don't forget to leave a comment about our next deck profile. We're going to take a look either at the Gate Guardians, at some tier elements, Copium, and maybe some Mikankos. So depending on what you want to see, let me know in the comments down below. And now we get right into the deck profile. So getting into the main deck, obviously there's one Mayakashi that can't be missed, and that is Dakki. It is the one that lets us climb in our Synchro and other extra deck monsters. How do we get to Dakki? That it is Hajun, obviously as a 3-off. Our normal summon more or less in the deck, specials Dakki from the deck. And with the level 2 and 1, we also get into our other plays. Now for our last Mayakashi main deck monster, we have Yuki-Musume, the Ice Mayakashi. As a 3-off, it's a beautiful extender. As a level 1, also pairs up well with Dakki in terms of levels. And overall, the effect to special summon from hand or grave is very nice for future turns. Not to mention the effect that it mills cards from deck or mills zombies from deck, which in our Mayakashi deck is very vital. Then, leaving the Mayakashi theme behind, let's go through some powerful zombie cards that help us combo off or get his plays started. One Uni-Zombie, it does a lot for the deck. It is also a tuner, which helps us with additional synchro plays if need be. Then Mezuki can't be missed as well. Only playing 2, I think that's more than enough. The card just extends further plays, especially with the Yuki milling Mezuki and then reviving some synchro monsters for follow-up or for interruption. It's just really nice. One Gozuki, also a really nice normal summon. I've been debating of playing 2, but you also don't want to see too many of them. I think one is just another normal summon next to Uni-Zombie is doing the job wonderfully. Coming to some stronger zombie support cards here, additional win conditions you might want to call them. We have the Doomking. It's an insane card, obviously, with the Zombie World engine that we, spoiler, also play. It's just another form of more reliable interruptions and negates in the enemy turn. Just beautiful. We play one Eldlich, a very, very small Eldlich package. I found that many people really like to play a larger Eldlich package, and I agree that that is certainly a very strong thing to do, but overall, I want to see more of our universal zombie cards or Mayakashis, and I think the Eldlich, well, they take a bit away from the Mayakashi theme. We play one Ghoul. It's kinda, hidden OP's zombie card. Protects your cards, recursion from graveyard / banish zone. It's just overall a very nice card to have. One Jack-o-Bolan helps gets play started with the effect in hand. And with Zombie World it can also be pretty annoying to disrupt your enemy's graveyard. Then one Vampire Fraulein helps to swing in for OTKs, and also kinda battle protection for some of your cards. It is one of the more cuttable cards, to be fair. And then one Globe Up Bulb or something like that. Pretty neat card. If you mill it, it can, if you have Zombie World special summon out one of your higher level monsters, it can access into a few different things depending on what you need. Not to mention it's also a level 1 tuner, but that rarely comes up. It's just part of the Zombie World package. And talking about Zombie World, Banshee can't be missed. You could cut one of the earlier mentioned cards to play 2 Netherworld Banshees, but so far I found that one is often more than enough. Coming directly here into the spells, Mayakashi Return as a 3-off. It's an insane searcher. It searches any Mayakashi card. We'll get to that later with the alternative win condition. Or, well, depending on how you see it. It can search our normal summon, it can search whatever the fuck we want. One zombie world, again, you could argue to play more of them, especially if you play more Netherworld Banshees, but yeah, I think one is enough. You can get it very reliably. One Zombie Reborn, it's a very nice reborn effect here that also recurs itself. The effect to banish something is not too bad because we play a lot of 2-offs, or at least 2-offs, especially also in the extra deck. So getting your reborn effects of your Syncro monsters, which we will get into later, it's just very powerful. One Eldlich here, it's one of the better Eldlich cards. So 1-for-1 makes a lot of sense, right? Your normal summon, your Hajun is a level 1. One Foolish Barrel, I mean in a graveyard mill zombie deck makes perfect sense. Monster Reborn, again remember, our monsters trigger when reborn from the grave. Now we play, like in your budget version, this could be cuttable, but due to the fact that we play a lot of zombies with different attributes, with different levels, different attack point values, Small World is a really neat way to get whatever the fuck you want. This is also cuttable in budget versions. Forbidden Droplet helps swing into boards, and a reliable board breaker, getting also cards into the graveyard, right, for the discard cost, pretty neat. One Cold Buy because hand traps are evil. And now we come to the very fair and very balanced cards. Konami really likes fun. Ghost meets Girl, something Mayakashi story. Tribute one of your Mayakashi extra deck monsters like Syncro or Link, and no one can special summon for the rest of this turn from hand, deck, or extra deck. This doesn't exclude the graveyard, which is great for us. So you use this in your opponent's turn. Send one of your monsters to the graveyard, which is also sometimes positive. You still can combo off in your opponent's turn due to your graveyard effects, which they usually can't, and they can't even get to the graveyard because, well, they can special summon. And, well, 3 is really nice. We also remember the Mayakashi Return. If you already have your big starter Dakki and Hajun stuff, who cares? Then you can search this. Because it's so great, we also play 2 trap tricks to play this card like 8 times in our deck, which it's sad that we have to do that, but the card is just too strong. And then our last Elixir card, Sanguine, it's the next best one, I think. I think you have to play at least 2 spell traps for the Eldlich engine to make some sense. Anyway, so with this very interesting main deck, let's move into the extra deck, which will be, to be honest, less interesting because, I mean, you can probably guess what we're playing. We're playing 3 times the Wheeled Mayakashi, 2 times the Toxic Mayakashi, 2 times the Winged Mayakashi, 2 times the Graceful Mayakashi, and 1 time the Skull Mayakashi. I'm not going through all of the effects, you probably know them. If not, pops a card, pops a spell trap, mills 3 is indestructible by battle, unaffected by our card spam. That's what they do if you reborn them. So you go through all of these with your Dakki line. I will show that off in the test hand video. But I mean, you can just read the cards. And the good thing is with our zombies, we have lots of ways to trigger their effects, right? Either they bring themselves back, right, due to their first effect, and their second effect is usually what we try to trigger in our opponent's turn to, well, disrupt their plays. We play everything as a 2-off because, well, if we go first or in our first action, in our first turn, we go through combo lines. If we get disrupted, then we might be able to restart in the same turn, or in our second turn we can go into it again. And obviously the zombie reborn needs a different name in the extra deck to banish. And not to mention that having 2 is overall a positive thing. And we are locked into Mayakashi cards anyway. There's not many other cards that we can play, really. There are 2 Link cards that some people play, but we don't have space for that. Because we played 2 of the Ice Mayakashi, 2 of the Icicle Mayakashi, and 2 of the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. I think the Links, playing 2 of them even comes up more often than some of the Synchros. So I feel this is very much needed. I've seen people play only one of the Link 4s at times, but personally I think it comes up too often. And I mean, the Link 4 really is your main boss monster that you want to have out all the time, because with it, the Link 3, which is maybe even stronger, well, this one is pretty great in the graveyard, obviously. I'm not going over the effects, right, you know, but this card, obviously, the synergy with this is pretty neat, the synergy with your entire extra deck and their graveyard effects. So these two, you need them as tools, I think, too important. And well, this one is still needed as a 2-off, because otherwise how would you get into the other higher ranking links? So we're not going over any side decks, by the way, because that depends on your tournament scene and on the state of the meta, depending on when you are going to watch this video. So I hope you enjoyed today's deck profile. Again, don't forget these three, the Gate Guardians, Tier Elements and Mikankos, depending on what you want to see next week. Going to have a deck profile, and talking about deck profiles, we also have some test hands for today's Mayakashi deck profile, and obviously next week as well. So let me know what you want to see, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed yourself today. Maybe you learned something new. Anyway, we're going to see each other next week. Till then, take care.